no GPS, no rules, no shame. Just a funky little quad and a soul train frame. We fly that flow, spread that gap. No time to nap, no time to nap. Hit that roll, funk and control, bounce that wall, we fly it all, we fly it all. Funky and free, we fly indoors, we fly with glee. Whoop it, loop it, groove it, move it, bounce it, flip it, funk it, rip it, fly that soul, don't lose control. Tiny whoop love gonna make you whole. I thread the needle through the vinyl stacks, bounce off the mirror ball, never looking back. My quad's got soul, it's got style, it's got sass. It dips through the incense like a glass from the past. I'm flying figure eights through the lava lamp glow, dodging house plants like a funky pro. My whoops got rhythm, my sticks got heat. I'm the pilot of the party with the grooviest beat. I loop through the hallway, I dive by the broom. I'm the disco ghost in your living room. I hit that split that's over grandma's chair. She just claps and says, boy, you got flair. I'm flying freestyle with a velvet touch. My quad so smooth it don't need a clutch. From the shag rug to the ceiling fan, I'm the funky little fly with a master plan. The curtains dancing on the breeze, freestyle funk in my living room with ease. Tiny whoop magic bumping every wall. I'm the James Brown of flight, can't stop at all.
Greetins! My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday. It's Whoop Wednesday. 19 millimeters. There we go. Welcome to hell. The dog's being bad. I'm gonna have to start beating him. I don't want to, but you know, hi, bad boy. Just comes running around. He's just intolerable, man. Teddy, why? Get back over here. I would, of course, never beat this dog. Beating living things accomplishes nothing. Don't do it, you psycho. I am getting ready for a little vacation. Maggie and I are going to visit my parents in Florida, and so it's absolute and utter chaos right now. Trying to get everything ready. I'm all packed clothes-wise, which takes about 10 minutes. But I want to bring a bunch of different quads, and that is difficult because you got to get batteries, you got to get extra props, you got to get all these things. I'm bringing from 1.2 inch to 7 inch, and pretty much everything in between, other than 5 inch. I'm not bringing a 5 inch rig because they're just too loud. The 7 inch build will. I'm looking forward to going far and fast with it. 5 inch rig will just get me yelled at, you know, because they're just. And we'll be in like Florida, which is, yeah, there's not going to be like super interesting spots to fly, I don't think. Even if there are, I got all the little stuff to do it. I'm bringing the fart bags on hippopotamus. I am bringing this guy, my frame, with the 04 Pro. And then I'm bringing the, 04 Lite, rather. And then I'm bringing the Avada Killer for 04 Pro. I am bringing the Grinderino for 03. I would rather bring this Quadmula F3, but I don't trust these 1505 motors. I didn't have a chance to get these motors swapped over. I'm tempted to do it tonight, but I'm not gonna. So I'll bring the Grinderino. That's got 03. I was looking forward to bringing the Raxus, which is now complete with 03. But I spent all this time today getting this thing figured out and finished up. Look, I put the second. I've got the antennas at a 90 degree like that. Kind of a temporary solution. The antenna cable from the XR4 is not long enough to get the antenna in the back where I wanted it. I wanted to get it at a 45 degree angle in the back here, so that when you're nose down flying, it's perfectly vertical, just like the video antenna. But the cable is not long enough, and I had a couple of really slick little TPU loops to mount it here, and so I said, you know what? Let me just mount it here for the time being. It kills the null on this side, and so not a terrible placement, not great though, because like basically if I were flying directly at you right now, I would be in this null. I would not be in the null of this antenna, but I've got all the carbon fiber in between me and you, and this is what it looks like to fly back home. Typically, it would be standing up like this because I'm hauling ass, but if I were to flatten out on the way back to myself really far away, could have issues. It wouldn't. This would be totally fine. I've been running for the last 4 years one single crossfire antenna in the rear like this, and it's been totally fine. But I'm trying to get more range. Like, that's the point. I want to get these antennas placed as perfectly as possible so that I can really max out the range on this thing. And that means having an antenna. Realistically, that means having an antenna vertical. And so I am going to figure out a way to do it, just not right now at this very moment. Basically, I'm going to have to find another one of these dual band antennas that's got a longer cable on it. I'm not sure if Radio Master sells that. I'll bet you they do though. I hope they do. The cables on these antennas are pretty long. I've got the receiver mounted all the way up front. The receiver is mounted right here. But like, what would somebody do that has like a lifter that's like, you know, this big? I feel like they have to have a cable that's longer. So yeah, I spent all this time. I get this thing up in the air, and it hovers at 70% throttle. And I was like, oh shit, something's wrong. Poking around, motors aren't hot, everything's cool. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I didn't buy these motors. These motors came from somewhere. They're T-Motor 1404s and they're red, but I never looked at the KV on them. And they're 2700. And then I did, and they're 2700 kV. They're the 6S 1404s. So this is not coming with me because I'm not going to run 6S on it. That's stupid. I'm gonna have to take it apart and undo the beautiful wiring job that I did. I'm so fucking pissed, man. Yeah. I got it. It's so neat and tidy, man. It's like everything is super tucked away, and like, you know, I mean it's fine. Like I'll you know, you pop a bunch of screws off, unplug the VTX from the flight controller, unplug the flight controller from the ESC, and then the two halves just come apart. And then I just have to cut a bunch of zip ties that I got the motor wires running all perfectly with. And yeah. So that was... I was really looking forward to bringing it. But it was fine at 70% throttle. It hovered fine, and I flew it around the room, and all's right with the world. So I mean, it's fine. I got the 03 updated, and it hooked up to the Goggles 3. Everything was good, other than that pesky KV problem. Unreal. But that's what you get when you don't look at the KV of the fucking motors. Oh boy, frustrating, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Sleepy CBR is first in the chat. Red HLG Spacebed Spiff at for the win. Yukon FPV, Mr. Clean, Sporny, Nyafu, Natter, Burlak, Uriel, Matthew Wegner, Mr. Clean again, B. Kirk, DeGhoul, Sear, B-Bird, Jimmy the Cow, for the win again, DeGhoul again, Level Up, Fizz, Frank Dr. Nicholas, Madman, Meaty, Mupshot, B. Kirk. I think I got everybody. As a reminder, no stream on Friday, no stream on Sunday. I'll be back Monday night. Maggie and I are leaving bright and early tomorrow morning, and we will be there, and then we're leaving on Monday morning, and I think it's like 7 hours away. So Monday night I'm going to be exhausted, but it's no different than most live streams where I've only gotten like 4 hours of sleep because sleeping problems are the greatest. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in 5 days. Tonight we're gonna do a frame swap on the Air 75 with a motor swap. And this will literally become, right now, it's been in this Newbie Drone 75 LiteAF frame. I'm moving it into an Air 75 V2 frame. So this will legitimately become an Air 75 V2 with a motor swap by the end of the live stream today. And then if we have time, we're going to do the camera swap on this crazy G473 because these canopies keep killing these cameras. So we're going to put it onto the old school invincible canopy with a Runcam Nano 3, and then we're going to start hammering the living hell out of this crazy G473 to see how durable it is, to see if it's a proper replacement for the for the 2G4. It's not a replacement for the 2G4. It doesn't have motor plugs. It doesn't have a camera plug. But it's potentially a lighter weight option for the rather than the 2G4. The 2G4 is a little bit of a heavy AIO. It's a fat bitch, but that's okay. You know, fat AIOs need loving too, and we be loving us some 2G4s around these parts. Around these parts. Madman says, are you bringing any... Madman screams, are you bringing any whoops to Sloss? You will be selling. I need another. LOL. Maybe? Maybe. Probably. Yeah, if I have a couple for sale right now, and so they'll be coming with me. I have these two 1.6-inch analog rigs, 1S and 2S, that are both for sale, so they'll definitely come as long as they don't sell by then. And then I think there was a 1.2-inch build that I was looking at moving along. There is an HD0 1.6-inch build that I'm going to be doing as well. So I'll if I can get it done in time, I'll have an HD0 build to sell as well. So yes, as long as they don't all sell before then. Jimmy the Cow says, my girlfriend won't let me watch the stream tonight, so I just want to say, CiottiFPV, moo. You put me on the phone with her. I'll wise her up. I'll let her know that this stream is good for your mental health. Madman says, let's go! I'm ready for this one! Sear says, wait, what's your frame for the trip you mentioned with the 04? Details, please. I've been working on this split base plate 3-inch frame for about 5 years. I'm gonna try to finish it up this year and figure out a way to get it cut and sell it to you beautiful bastards. but everything keeps getting in the way. So yeah, don't hold your breath. But I think it's done, to be honest. Ryan Harrell did the majority of the design, and I think it's done. But I have this one. This is the real one with the actual split base plate. This is like the version 0.2. The version 0.1 with the solid base plate is over there, and it's built analog with motors I don't hate, but motors I don't need anymore. And I've got like 20 batteries through it. I keep trying to break it, and I can't break it. I need to break it because I need to see where it breaks. And once that happens, it's already durable enough, I think. Like it's already taken such punishment. So like I think we're good, but I just have to break it. I just absolutely have to break that prototype before I go making a whole bunch of these, because there are certain places that these frames can break that are like no good. And so I have to know. So yeah, I got to keep flying that and keep smashing it. I'm not bringing it with me because I'm not going to go to Florida and smash a quad around. I'm going to do it locally here, where, you know, if I get it hung up somewhere, I can at least maybe get it down. And so, yeah, but I am bringing this one because this has the TuneRC AIO and then 04 Lite. And so this is the frame that I'm interested in, like the resonance. Is there any weird resonance to the frame that's going to cause jello in the 04 Lite? It's been good so far, but I've only put a couple batteries through this. So yeah, that's sort of the plan with this guy. Right now, I am putting propellers onto it. I'm going to run it on these HQ 3x3x3 propellers first because they are super well balanced. And then I'll run it on some other propellers that are not as well balanced and see at what point if there's any jello. So yeah, final kind of stages of testing with these frames, and then I'll probably just end up going to like CNC Madness and being like, hey, you know, can you guys do this? And I think they will package it with standoffs and screws for you, but I gotta have that conversation with them. Maybe I have them cut a bunch and send them to me, and then I'll ship them out. I'm not totally sure. That I would, yeah, we'll see. But it's a thing that exists, and it seems pretty good. It's squished X geometry, split base plate, so you've got tons of room up front for the camera. The offset between the rear standoffs and the front standoffs is 5 millimeters. So you could put damn near anything in this. Like you could actually put 04 Pro in this. I think you would have to mount the 04 Pro out the front, and I don't know what standoff loops you would need, but you could do like 28 millimeter standoffs in the front and then 23s in the back. And you could put an 04 Pro in here. You would have to like stack the 04 Pro up. It would be a bit of a mess, but yeah, having that offset front to rear of 5 millimeters is really nice because there you can do 15 and 20, which is what this has right now. You can do 23 and 18. You can do 25 and 20, 28 and 23, 30 and 25. They make all of those standoff sizes. Like you can just go on. I want to say Pyrodrone has all of the standoff sizes. I think Pyrodrone has 15, 18, 20, 23, 25, 28, and 30. So yeah, this will work with a million different deck heights. And there is both a split base plate setup and a standard base plate setup. And I'm actually thinking about selling it with both because it's probably only like an extra $4 for to have the solid base plate cut. And I think that would be cool for you to get a frame that is totally configurable. Split base plate, solid base plate. With the solid base plate, you could do the arms on the bottom, you could do the arms on the top, right? So there'd be like 4 completely separate configurations that you could run on it. Really good motor protection, big long devil horns here. off the ends to keep yourself from banging the motors all up and ruining lots of micro motors. It's small. It's a small build. It's got 20 by 20 stack mount dead center, and then you'd have room in the back for like an analog VTX and or receiver. Or it's got 25 by 25, which is how I have the this one set up, with the Tune RC on the bottom and then the 04 light on top. So, bunch of cool configurations that you can do with this thing. It's small. Most of the 3-inch frames out there are like the Quadmula F3, where they've got a big long ass on them. This is not that at all. This has a little tiny ass, and so you can't put a massively long battery on it. But I mean, you're not gonna need a battery longer than this. This will easily fit like a 450, 550, 650, 850 on the top plate here. And so yeah, it's chunky, it's strong, and it's unique. I don't know of any 3-inch frames right now that are set up like this, that are short like this, you know? I would love to maybe do dead cat arms at some point, but like there's not much room between the front and rear propellers, again, because it's small. It's a tight little build. So it might just be what it be. I forget if this has props in view with the 04 light. If you run a wide field of view camera, like most of the analog cameras, there's absolutely props in view. There's a bunch. But with the 04 light, there might not be any props in view. I'll let you know after this vacation, because I'm going to be flying this a bunch. Well, maybe not a bunch, but I'm going to fly it for sure, so that we can have a look. So yeah, this will be fun, man. I'm looking forward to this. I'm bringing the 2-inch 04 light rig, open prop, the Whoop, and so that'll be a neat comparison. 2-inch versus 3-inch. I'm not bringing anything 2.5. 3-inch big motors. These are 1405. These 1504s? No, these are 1405 motors. Big ass 3x3x3 propellers. Look how good that looks, man, with the purple and the red. Ooh, ooh. What you know about that? Yeah, this is gonna be cool. It's absurd that I've only flown this like once or twice. It's just silly. Is there any I wonder, is there any flight footage on here? Hold on. Let's see if there's any flight footage on here so you can see it flying. I think I put like 1 or 2 batteries through it, just to make sure that it didn't have like mega jello or anything like that. But let's see real quick. In theory, I didn't delete any of the... I did. I deleted everything. Okay. I remember flying it, so I have flown it. But you're going to have to wait until Monday or Wednesday of next week to actually see it fly. These are Spinny Boy 1405 4800 kV. Can you guys make the writing on these motors a little smaller? 4800 kV. So these motors absolutely hammer. They're made by Oddity RC. You can only buy them on Oddity RC's website. It's maddening. But yeah, boy, they make some power. 1405. And they're notchy little motherfuckers. They are super coggy. Look at that. So yeah, big power motors. Hope these screws don't back out. Don't back out, screws. Are they backing out already? Oh my god, are they backing out already? Don't back out. No, they're fine. I couldn't tell if my greasy Dago hands were slipping on the screwdriver or if the screws had backed out a little bit. Okay, so this guy's ready to go. Hooray! What else is happening? Many things. Many things are happening. I don't know. I cannot believe that these motors... I built this thing all pretty. And the motors are 2700 kV. That is absolutely infuriating. Teddy, if you stand there growling, I'm going to light you on fire. It's your choice. You got to choose, okay? You choose. Fire or stop growling? Sear says, no, we got that. Yuke says, how many bags of just FPV stuff? Just 2. I do like my main flight bag, and then I have my kill all carbon bag from Teespring. That little tote bag. I always like limit it to that. I try to limit it to just my flight bag, but like the 7-inch build is all gigantic, and like yeah, it's a pain in the ass. If I weren't bringing the 7-inch, I could probably get it all hanging off my flight bag. But like we're driving down there, so it's whatever. You know what I mean? Nyafu says, why not have a little 3-gram GPS with GPS rescue? I've just never done the GPS thing. I've never used it. I have the 7-inch build is actually wired for it. I ran I figured out what the plug was on the on this little GPS, and I actually wired a plug up to a UART. But then I never put this on there. I've just never done it. I don't know. I don't have a good reason. B. Kirk says, do you think the Avata 360 might be worth it for reframing your shot post-flight? Not really. You take a hit in image quality with those 360 cameras. I know that they say 8K, but that's 8K spread 360 degrees. So if you then crop in on like a normal shot, like what we, normally shoot, it's not even 4K. And so yeah, and also like the 360 stuff tends to be kind of warped and like fish-eyed and weird. It's not, like nobody will ever use anything 360 for like proper cinema stuff. It's just it's a bit of a sort of novelty kind of thing. So yeah. B. Kirk says, I know frames are generally cheap, but have you ever tried to print one in a pinch if you need one now? For frames, no. 3D printed frames never really work. There was a company called Redshifters a while ago that spent a ton of time and effort trying to 3D print Tiny Whoop frames, and they got closer than anyone has, but they were still unflyable. It's not the right material. And the way that the layer lines sit in there, it just doesn't work. It's even if you manage to get something that is flyable and doesn't have weird harmonics and oscillations all over the place, it's not going to crash well. Carbon fiber and or molded plastic are just really the only way to go for frames. If there was a decent 3D printable frame option, believe me, people would be doing it, because being able to 3D print your own frame is insanity, right? Like, and so, yeah, just by the fact that, like, it doesn't exist, yeah, it doesn't exist for a reason. Teddy, I'm going to kick you the fuck out of this basement if you don't knock it off. You think he understands English? Knock it off. You were just out there. All you want to do is go be a jerk again to the neighbor's dogs, who aren't even out there anymore. You penis. Stop being a penis, dog. Come on. Get! Oh my god, he's freaking out. Oh my god. Holy shit. Here Here he comes. He comes sliding in. Get back here, you little bastard! He takes the long way. I take the short way. My dad's in the chat. Whew. This is a dangerous game we're playing. Whew. Madman says, I know a guy who cuts carbon. Does he also put press nuts in? My frame uses press nuts, and there's a special machine to do that, I think. Well, it's probably just a press. It's just a hydraulic press. The End of the Terrible says to my dad, when are you coming back? Says he does real soldering. CiottiFPV is just teaching us bad habits. Whew. Seer says, let me break it. LOL. My dad says soldering on these whoops is pure effing magic. Off Axis says party on sexy people. Whew. Seer says, what motors on both setups, solid base and split base? The other one has like 10-year-old RCX 1304 5000s on it. Just a super old motor that I have a ton of. There's 4 on that build, and then I have all these extras. And so, you know, they're an old motor with weak magnets. And so it's like, whatever, I don't care if I lose a bunch of them. There's no good use for those RCX 1304s anymore. They're as heavy as a 1304, but they only make the power of like a 1203 maybe. And they're 9x9 mount, like, yeah, they're just outdated motors. So they gotta go. They'd be good for like an efficiency rig. They'd be an efficient motor. They're a very smooth motor. But yeah. Seer says, I ask because I've never tried a freestyle build. Denzel says, get CNC Madness to make it. Yeah, it's going to be either CNC Madness or that other company. I always forget what they're called. Seer says, I prefer that compact look. Nice effing design. Thank you, dude. Denzel the Terrible says, 1404, 4600 kV on 4S on that little build. Yes. Yeah, that's what this is supposed to be. 1404, 4600. If you're talking about my frame, it's 1405, 4800. But 1404, 4600 would totally work too. The T-Motor 1404, 4600s are brilliant. They're so good. Fizz says, did you see the 2-inch open prop I made with the Cetus X? I did not. Jamie Flies FPV is in the house. How are you? My dad tells me to go to bed. Never. Sporty says, resin and powder deposition printing works for drone frames, just not FDM printers. You know, I forget about the resin and powder deposition is also called sintering, right? I believe that's also called sintering. I forget about those. Although I don't really consider those to be 3D printing. Like, I'm sure that they are, but like, I think most people, when you say 3D printing, they're thinking about like filament-based printing. So yeah, I always forget about those other technologies. Technologies is. You know what I mean? My dad says you could mount a camera on Teddy's collar. So many people have done that. So many people have mounted cameras on dogs. The footage that you get back is just this, and or it's just like pointing into the ground. It's so hard to get a good good footage off of wild animals, and that motherfucker's wild indeed. High right. Give me some high lefts. Where's the high left? Here's a high left, but it doesn't have a centerpiece in it. Where's another high left? Give me one more. This one, and it's got a center. Is there one with a center so I don't have to do it? Here comes the ultimate lazy slack ass. Ready? Oh, there's centerpieces in here. We good. Sporny, no, we got that. Mupshot says need an FPV Teddy cam. Sintering is powder pressing. Ah, powder pressing. Fizz. I did see that, Fizz. Yeah, a little toothpick with quad blades. Why the quad blades? Are the motors too low of a KV? And you need the extra blades for to make any actual power on it. Hey, there we go. I like to, something that we run into with different 2.5 inch and 3 inch props is different thicknesses of the hubs of the propellers. And so some props will need an M2x8. Other props will need an M2x7. There's even some props that'll need M2x6s. I also have a bunch of M2 hardware that's button head. I even have some that are titanium. And so what I'll usually do is get like an extra set of props. Like if I want to test 2 props, I'll get a whole extra set of props with the screws in them ready to go. And it'll save me a bunch of time so that I can fly one set, pop them off, drop these right on, and the length of time between testing the first set of props and the second set of props is as short as possible. And that helps me to like remember what it felt like on the other propellers. So yeah, that rig on those 1405s, I want to see how it is on those HQ 3x3x3s, and then I want to also see how it is on these Gemfan 3052s. So I got these guys all loaded up with, these need the longer screws. These 3052s need M2 by, I believe these are M2 by 8 screws on these, and those 3x3x3s need M2 by banana pants screws. So I put it on the 3x3x3s because apparently they're the best balanced 3 inch props. I'll fly a couple batteries on those and then swap over to these. What I'll probably do is I'm only bringing like 2 of every battery. And so I'll fly 2 batteries on it, put them on the charger, fly 1 more, and then swap them and fly the next one. That way I have like a couple batteries in a row, 3 batteries in a row on it, and then switch the propellers, and away we go. That's the theory. This guy is going to get a set of 1404 plus RC and power motors, which I'm actually like really excited to try on here. Apparently what they mean by 1404 plus is 1405. I wish I'd known that before ordering from Oddity RC to get those 1405s. But yeah, I'm really excited for these motors. I've had them for a while. They're going to absolutely blast on this Quadmula F3 Siren with a naked 03 air unit, which in the few batteries that I've flown on this has already kind of been a pain in the ass. Like if you crash it really hard, the naked 03 will just like shut off. But I've only flown a few batteries on this. I need to spend more time with this thing. So yeah, but I got to get it off of these. These are Mamba 1505s, and the motor bells fly off of these motors. So I got to get these off of here, because if I lose this entire rig from one of these motor bells, leaving the chat, I'll be really pissed off. And then to go along with this, at some point here, I'm going to be building up the Quadmula F3.5 SirenA, this giant thing with an 04 Pro at some point. This is like a 90-gram frame. It's absolutely ridiculous, but there are plenty of big motors and big batteries that'll crank this thing. And with an 04 Pro and what looks like maybe no props in view, right? Like the motor center line is pretty even with the front of the camera. 04 Pro, no props in view, big power, strong frame. This could be really cool. This could be like a I don't need a 5-inch rig anymore kind of setup right here. Massive thank you to Quadmula for sending this over to me. They sent it at a time that I was hammered busy. And so like even I think you can buy this now. I will get some content up with it at some point here. I'm actually going to be tearing apart a ripsqueak to put into this. Feels weird doing it, but I'm just not flying these things. And so there's a perfectly good flight controller and ESC in here. So yeah, this is going to get pulled apart to get this thing going. Oh my God, dog! Why? Why are you like this? I might have to go up there. What a jerk. What a jerk, this dog. FizzPV says, no 1103s, 2S, only props I have in 2-inch. Mr. Clean says, question from me above. Mr. Clean says, went a little motor crazy and bought 1203s, 1204s, and 1303.5s. What would be some good builds? Know anyone on Fiverr? Plug. Oh man, yeah, that's a big question. That's I don't even know if I could get through that in a half an hour. That's probably like an hour-long Fiverr call. Because like that's so open-ended of a question that there's no possible way that I could steer you in the right direction without asking like legitimately 20 or so questions. So yeah, CiottiFPV.com has links to all the different ways that you guys can support me. Patreon is the best. Buy something from my Etsy store. Teespring's got some fun stuff. There's a link to Fiverr where you can schedule a one-on-one call with me, where you can learn a lot and build something that actually makes sense for your use and where you live and where you fly and how you crash and what you want to do with the footage and what the future holds for you of FPV and all that jazz. There's also a bunch of affiliate links over there. Change your bookmarks to the affiliate links. You have to use the affiliate links over and over and over again. They expire every week. So change your bookmarks to someone's affiliate links, support us, and we'll keep making stuff for you to watch here on YouTube. All that being said, 1303.5 is a motor that'll work on a 3-inch tri-blade propeller. 1203 is a motor that'll work down on like a pitchy 2-inch prop or even a 2.5-inch prop. So that's about all I can really dive into here. 1204s are going to work on a low pitch tri-blade 3-inch prop or a bi-blade 3-inch prop. That's about as much as I can do without like really diving in and getting into it. Mr. Meaty says, what motors on your Grinderino? My favorite motors of all, the X-Nova 1804s. There's a chance that there's actually a chance that the Grinderino is going to be what gets taken apart to build this 3.5-inch SirenA. I kind of hate to do it, but like the top plate on the Grinderino frame it just drives me insane, and I don't want to put the camera in front of the front standoffs. and those 1804s would be absolutely perfect on that build. So I kind of forgot about the plan of doing that. Here's the thing, though. The Grinderino has 03 on it, and I'm not putting 03 into the SirenA or SirenA, whatever. I don't know how the name is supposed to be pronounced, but so yeah, I don't know. It would be weird to rip the Grinderino apart and then take the video system out of it. Like if I was going to tear that apart, I would want to just pull it out of that frame and drop it into the other frame. Let me see. How do I have the 03 set up? So if I have it on plugs, then that might actually be what I do. But if I have it direct soldered, I think I have it direct soldered. Where the hell do the wires go for the 03? Do they go in the back? My God, this thing is busy. The ESC in here is also not great. Can you still get these X-Nova motors? You used to only be able to get these 1804s on Pyrodrone. They make them in T-mount, and then they make them in M5. I really like them in M5. So let's try to add 6 to the cart, see what happens. Damn it, it'll only let me add 3. Ugh, shit. There is also an item that's a 4-pack. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong kit. Oh, fuck, they don't have any in 3500 kV. Oh, no. No. See if they have them on their website. Who else sells them? Nobody. Internet work. What can you? Damn, the 3500s are. I've been talking too much about the damn things. People went and bought them. Okay. Apparently, X-Nova's website doesn't work. That's not great. I'm gonna try to find X-Nova on something and message them. Oh boy, that sucks. If I can't get any more of those 3500s. I mean, I have 4 3500 kV stators on this build, and I think I maybe have 1 extra. And so as long as I can still get the motors, I can just take the bells off, right? Because the bells are typically what we break. But I would love to put them on this other build. So that sucks. I'm messaging them on Instagram right now. Have the 1804 3500 kV motors been discontinued? Okay. I'll see what they get back. I fucking hope not, man. Yeah, their website's not working. That's maddening. Oh, boy. I hope that's not... Ooh! That would suck. Because I don't know of any other motor that's that good. And I mean, X-Nova makes like really good motors. They make like lifter motors that are beautifully balanced and just really, really, really well made. And I think that's one of the reasons that their 1804s have been so good, is because it's a company making like really high-end, motors that then make itty-bitty motors. Halfbake says X14 came with 4.6.0 installed and had a firmware bug that made the motor direction glitch when using Turtle. Flash new firmware, no more problem. I think mine might have come with 4.6.0 as well. Sear says, I put it on 2015.12. Whatever. Sear says, is your design 4S sub 250? Oh my god, yeah. It's like way under 250. You can put a big ass battery on there and still be at 250. So yeah, it's a light setup. You can 250 is not a problem. My dad says I'm going to bed. You should too. I can't. I gotta work and then I gotta pack. But luckily, tomorrow morning is not my morning to get Florence on the bus, so I'll be able to sleep in tomorrow morning a little bit. What else is happening here? I'm caught up on chat. Let's swap a frame, my friends. I'm excited. I've got a log on here right now. Oh no, I pulled it onto the computer. Yeah. So I've got a couple of logs actually with this Newbie Drone LiteAF 75 frame. And then we are going to... Why is this camera taking such a beating lately? I feel like it's constantly... Okay, now it's better. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, now that it's been worked in a little bit, seeing what the difference is between this and the Air75 V2 frame. My father with a 1999 super chat. What? It's in such a weird color scheme. That's crazy. He says RC and Power 1003 fun. Thank you, Dad. Very cool. See that? My dad knows how it's done. 20 goes to 40. There it is. My dad wants to see me test RC and Power 1003 10,000 kV motors. Thank you, Dad. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm excited. So, because I'm going to be unplugging these motors, I'm going to reapply Stabilant 22 electrical contact enhancer. We already tested this build. Oh. Oh. Let's retest it. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to retest it right now. This already has Stabilant 22 on it. I'm going to reapply it, and we're going to retest it. I've got two batteries on the charger, two 450 mAh batteries right now. We're just going to do that full throttle test. And we'll see if Stabilant, a second application of contact enhancer, helps. And or we'll find out that I didn't put it on correctly the first time that I did it. So, throw a battery on here. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to go into Betaflight and make sure that VBAT battery compensation is turned off. I didn't do that last time. And we're going to spin this thing up, see what RPM we pull. We're going to swap the frame, reapply, and then spin it back up and see if there's any difference. Come on. Come on, Betaflight, you can do this. Please. All right, so I'm going to come in here. PID tuning and VBAT sag compensation off. Save. Motor output limit 100%. All looks good. Disconnect. Okay. So, pull power. Hook up a battery. I'm just going to hold it in my hand and go full throttle. We'll swap the battery. We'll see what happens. Ready? Gonna arm it. Come on. $52,908. $52,908. And then we're gonna swap That was this Weebleed 450. We're going to swap to this Lava 450. And these are both fresh off the charger. And I'm going to put them right back on the charger. All right, this one's ready to go. 52,912. 52,912. Very, very close. 52,908, 52,912. Good Lord. Okay. I don't think we'll ever see motor RPMs be that close ever again. That's pretty wild. 2 separate batteries. For the Win says, for setting up new motors, tree toppers, will I need to do anything settings-wise to get them to run correctly? Nope. Yep, you'll be good. Plug them in and go. Okay. Frame swap, Stabilant 22 reapplication. The reason why I'm reapplying it is because I'm pulling the plugs on these motors. And so I have access to the pins, and so why not put a little bit more of it on there? You know what I mean? Whenever I have access to these pins, I'm going to put it on. That'll also prevent it from wearing off. According to the manufacturer, you can plug and unplug stuff at least a few times before it affects it. But what the hell? I'm here. Might as well do it to make sure that I got like a full coating on there. You know, so far I'm using just like a sharp tipped piece of metal. I've been using these fine tipped tweezers. I think tonight I want to try to use like a needle or a pin to apply it. I'm pretty sure that that seems to work totally fine, but I don't know. Maybe it needs to be applied a second time if you're not using like a brush that's going to hammer it all over everything. I really don't think that we need to use a brush. The contacts that we're putting on the pins that we're putting it on are so unbelievably small that yeah, it certainly looks under magnification like we can just use pretty much anything. So I'm going to do that now, actually. I'm also swapping this canopy because I'm putting a clear frame on here. I'm going to put a clear Air V2 canopy on here because if you don't fly good, you better look good. And, you know, a lot of times I'd be flying like shit, so I got to look good. Get this CO3 pushed out of here. I really like these Air V2 canopies a lot better than the V1s. There are so many things about them that are better. They've very obviously listened to our complaints and made improvements to them. All right, I am gonna steal the screw out of this one. All right, cool. So let's get this screw put into the clear one. Which side? It goes in this side. So where this screw goes in, the one side is thin, the other side is thick. You're going to put the screw in the thin side so that the threads go into the nice thick plastic side. Right now, though, I'm going to... I was going to unplug the camera, but I'm not. The little JST 0.8 port can go to hell. I have no confidence in it. So I'm going to leave the camera plugged in and just push it out of the way. What do I have? Do I have like a... I know I have a safety pin in here. Ooh, I got something. I got something perfect for this. Okay. Beautiful. Yep. All right, so I got one of these little picks here. Oh, yeah, that's basically just like a little needle tip. Beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do is what I've been doing is I take this cap and I just put one drop into the cap, and then I can sit the cap up like this, and then I put that in there, and then when I look, there's a little thin coating on there. that I can just smoosh around. So we got a little pin there. Okay. And so last time what I did is I put it on the tip of the tweezers and then I did all 3 pins. This time I'm just going to try doing each one individually. So there, oh God! There's one. Here's the next one. All right. Third one. Okay. Fourth one. Not fourth one. Third one, rather. Okay. This is way faster than the way that I did it last time. Jesus. All right. 1. 2. 3. All right, one more to do, which is this one. Okay. This one. Yeah, and like it's getting the liquid is getting on my finger and shit. Like I know this seems like a weird way to do it, but like I can see it. Like my finger is, can you see see that shine on my finger? Like it is absolutely picking up. Like watch. Look at that. You know, like the metal is absolutely picking up a coating, and then like I can see it. Like I can see there's just, it is just a little bit of it, but that's all we really need. This Stabilant 22 shit is expensive, which is why I'm doing this way. I'm not just dropping like a big drip of it on each motor plug. But yeah, this seems to work totally fine. And now there's some in the cap, which I'll unfortunately lose, but that's okay. I just used 2 little drops, and I've still got a half decent amount left in here. So yeah. Cool. All right, new frame. And the new Air 65. Oh, do I want to switch? I kind of want to switch the, what time is it? 11:09. I kind of want to switch this plug out. I've got these cool, let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. We're here. Let's just do it. This is going to take some time though. God damn it. Let me see how fast I can do this. All right. These are from tinywhoop.com, and they are little PCBs with LEDs on them. And these ones here are red-blue. It's one red LED, one blue LED. Which could look pretty cool. This rig's got blue motors and then green props, so it'll be like red, green, blue kind of deal. That'll be pretty neat. I think, at least. You might not, but if you do, you're wrong. If you don't, you're wrong, rather. Okay, so whenever you're soldering with BT 2.0, make sure that you plug the opposite side in so that you don't melt the pins. And so you're going to want to keep in your little toolkit a both male and female end of a BT 2.0 so that you don't ruin that shit. So you take one of the battery side ones here, and then you just plug it in there, and it'll make your life immeasurably better. So just plug that in, and you're good to go. It'll hold the pin straight. So this guy we're going to put in here, and then, how did I do this last time? Did I do the, how did I do this last time? Oh, there's a little silkscreen thing for how the plug goes on. Flat spot like that. Okay. And so I'm going to put that flat. What I'm trying to remember is if I did the wire first or if I did the plug first. It doesn't really matter too much. But I'm going to do the the plug first right now because I'm just in a hurry. Usually this takes me a while because usually I'm like super insane about getting this perfect. Right now I'm going to try to just blow through this. So I got a bunch of flux paste on there. I got this thing just where I want it. I'm just going to pick this up and make sure it's sitting flat on there. It is sitting flat. Cool. So I'm going to put it like this so that I can bring the soldering iron in like that and then bring the solder in from the side. Clean the tip of the soldering iron. And away we go. And so this is not pre-tinned or anything like that. So we're going to have to put a nice blob of solder on here, but it should happen pretty quick because I got that nice chunk of flux on there. So here we go. There it is. Just keep it on here to make sure the heat transfers to the actual PCB. It did. Here's the other one. Just wait until you see the solder flow down to the PCB. Good to go. And now, since they're so close together, we got to be really careful about them bridging, but they are not bridged. They are good. The PCB did move, though. It is at a bit of an ugly angle on here, so I do need to fix that. So I need to heat these both up while I'm pushing down on this PCB to get it flattened out. So I'm going to bring the soldering iron in like this so that I can hit both. And this is potentially going to be where this thing, where these two bridge together. I'm going to put my fine-tipped tweezers right over here in a spot where I can push down. And now I'm going to clean the shit out of the tip of the soldering iron because I don't want to add any more solder. And now let's see if I can get this without bridging these. Get the tweezers back in here. All right. One just flowed, the other one flowed, and they flowed together, just as I suspected. So now I got to try to... All right, so we're going to put a blob of flux on here. Okay, and now I'm going to hold it up like this. I'm going to try to heat them up and then just flick the excess solder to my right. Didn't work. Let's try it again. Still didn't work. Let's take some solder wick and we're going to try to remove some solder from these guys. So I'm going to lay the solder wick here at an angle. Bring the heat in. It's going to suck up a bunch of solder, and that did the trick. And I believe there's still enough solder on them, but we're going to take a look. Cut off that piece of solder wick that absorbed all the solder. And now we'll take another look. They're definitely not bridged, and there's absolutely enough solder on them. Beautiful. And the PCB is sitting nice and flat. So, fantastic. It's hard for you guys to see, but trust me, it's good to go. So, I always do like to check these now real quick, though, and just put a battery on them, because it could still be bridged underneath. I don't think it is, but I want to find this out before I plug it into the quad. This is a little bit sketchy, but in theory, it's only 1S, so it won't shock you that bad. And we're good. Oh, it was supposed to be one red, one blue. It's double red. Oh, man. That's not what I wanted. Do I want red on this build? I was really looking forward to that one blue. I have red on this build. Yeah, this build is double red. This thing is always going to have these blue motors, and I don't want to be like, America. So, hold on. Do I have another one in blue? I don't even think they're in here. I have a little pack of them. Where did I put them? They're not in here. This is big boy LEDs. Did I maybe put them in here, I guess? Shit sticks. What did I do with them? Well, I think that was all for nothing. I think I'm gonna leave the BetaFPV plug on there. Are they in here? No, they're not in there. What even is this? Well, in case you were wondering how to build those things, that's how you build them. And that whole bridging thing happens a lot. They bridge like that a lot. So don't put too much solder on them. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this alone, I guess, because I'm not gonna go spelunking around in all my shit to try to find the my other ones. Not to mention that I don't think I have a blue one. I'm pretty sure that I don't have blue. From what I remember, I have orange and pink, and I don't want either one of those. I had them up here in this drawer for the longest time, and then I must have moved them. That's what I get for moving stuff. That's what I get for trying to be organized. All right, yeah. So we'll just leave this. This is fine. Let's put this into the frame, and eventually I'll break this frame, and then when I swap it to a new frame, I'll find that stuff and take care of it. All right, so there we go. Now let's get this camera into this Air V2 canopy. I would kind of like to get a proper antenna on here as well. This little janky wire antenna I only threw on here because I almost lost the other antenna, and I didn't. I wanted to keep flying it rather than waiting for E6000 to cure. Oh god. Although I did want to fly this tonight, so maybe I'll stick with this wire antenna. I don't think I'm bringing this with me, so it's whatever. All right, so yeah, this is the hard part of this of these G-string canopies, is getting the lens over. Just gotta try to be patient. There we go. All right, and then the most important part is getting this screw tight enough. In these new canopies, they put little 4 little notches which catch on the square part of the lens, so that you can actually get the camera into the mount lined up properly. But then you got to really tighten the shit out of this screw. Like, you got to tighten this screw way more than you think you should. Like, you're going to feel like you're stripping the plastic out. But if you don't, the camera will absolutely rattle loose and start moving all around in there. So really, really, really crank that screw. And then, yeah, see, I didn't even get it tightened enough. So get the camera pushed forward to make sure the 4 little squares are lined up. And then you got to really, really jam on this. There we go. There's that last little bit. It legitimately feels like I'm stripping it out. But it's that last bit that really clamps this down. And then, yeah, there we go. Now it's in there. And you can actually see there's a little tiny gap in between the 2 front pieces. I can actually crank it a little bit more to just completely close that gap up and make absolutely sure that you strip it all the way out. All right. Let's get these screwed in here, and then we'll deal with the motors. And now this is the ultra fun part. This is everybody's favorite part with these G-string canopies, is dealing with these little bastards that never want to stay where they belong. Oh man, Florence and I are at the end of season 1 Expanse, and she's still into it. I love it. I think she's just watching the show for James Holden, though, if I'm honest. But whatever, man. Whatever it takes to get these kids watching good shit rather than the trash that they that they tend to enjoy. All right, come on now. Get over there. There we go. All right. There's that one. Stay there, you fuck. Stay there. Yeah. Okay. And let's see if we can get the front one in. Yes. I still haven't broken one of these front posts, so I'm still doing this with... These aren't the normal screws. These are a little tiny bit longer, but they're not that much longer. One of the things I like to do with this ELRS antenna is put it in between the gap in the front of the canopy here. There's a little slot, and it's the exact right length where you can just put it right on in there, and then it keeps it from rattling around or doing anything weird. There it is. Just put it right in there, and it just goes right in the center bit. And then you can actually like push it up a little bit, and it'll get wedged in there. Make absolutely sure that your antenna is not causing any weird vibrations. It's right in there, right in between the front little jib jabs. You know what I'm saying? The jib jabs. You guys know the fucking jib jabs. Come on. B. Kirk says, it's so much great advice. I always have the plugs melt the plastic. I have the same plug, and it was red and blue. Wonder if they messed yours up. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I would rather have just blue, but I settled for red-blue. And then I got just red, which is fine. I like just red, too. I think I only had... it's actually nice to have just red, because, you know, my logo is red and white. And we're going to put this on the lowest up tilt, which is 20, which is pretty good. That's where it was before. And there we go. Now we just got to deal with the motors. Hit these one more time just to make sure they're tight. And we're good. Cool. Leave this guy upside down. And let's get these motors off of here. And so I believe that I had green in the rear and smoke crotch gray props in the front. So if I keep these motors in the same spots, I will not need to change the motor direction in Betaflight. So I believe this is the right front here. Okay. I hope so. I hope I'm not putting these on front to back, because then I think they'll spin wrong directions. It's not that bad. Off axis lives for the jib jabs. Goddamn right. That's the proper way to live. I was really excited to fly this to have this thing be on the Gemfan 1610 blue props. I was super disappointed when they were out of bounds. But maybe that also had something to do with this frame. I'm kind of hoping that in this Air75 V2 frame that I might be able to move this thing back to those Gemfan 1610s, because they're just indestructible. So we'll see. That'll be an interesting little tidbit here. Come on. Okay. I'm really looking forward to just being able to move the PID tune up a little bit. In this newbie drone frame, I had to move the master multiplier all the way down to 0.8 to get this thing under control. I'm looking forward to being able to move it back up to 1 and then maybe start pushing the P and D sliders up a little bit. If it still flew decent, like the motors are really powerful, the response time is really quick. And so even with those sliders turned down, it wouldn't prop wash often, but it would prop wash. There were moments where it would have a big old bobble when you would put it right into its own garbage air. So it'll be hopefully nice to get rid of that. All right, and now, so this guy props in, right? So this is what, motor 3, I guess? Yeah, motor 3. Cool. All right. That guy going here. And last one. Yes, I know the exact number of turns for these screws that I need from this Weehaw screwdriver. I have changed so many tiny whoop motors, it's absolutely absurd. Hold on, let me get the rest of these screws put back in their little homes. There we go. All right, and now this frame is just going to chill up here for a while. The LiteAF Cockroach 75. All right. We'll plug these motors into the freshly Stabilant 22'd plugs. Those batteries will be fresh off the charger. We'll throw those on, spin it up, and then fly it around the room. So I am now plugging these. Ooh, that's a nice snap, man. When these motor plugs are new, they really snap in there in a very satisfying way. That's kind of how you know if your motor plugs are worked or not. If they just like mush into the plug and you've plugged them and you've unplugged and plugged them a million times, swap them out. Tiny Whoop sells colored motor wires. Get you some cool colored motor wires and get some fresh plugs on. It'll make a difference. The service life of these plugs is like a joke. It's like 10 or 20 cycles. So if you've unplugged and plugged more than that, you're beyond their life cycle. Cool. All right. Let's see if reapplying and letting dry had any effect. So we were 52,908 and 52,912 before. Let's see what it is this time. I think I did the Weebly battery first. Let's get it on here. And here we go. ELRS, please connect. Thank you. All right, let's see. Look at that, 53,500 from 52,908 to 53,500. Not a big difference, but something. And now the lava battery, which was 52,912. Give it a second here. Okay, should be good. 51,450, down from 52,912 to 51,450. I did not get the throttle all the way up. I got the throttle up to like 90%, and then I bumped it up to 100. And so when it was at 90, it probably sagged down a little bit. I mean, plug it back in. That was my bad. 51,621. Yeah, I think I fucked that up. But it didn't make a massive difference, and so I think the single application of Stabilant 22 is plenty. Let's fly it. Air75 V2 with a motor swap. Gep RC 1002 25,000. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so I've got a very specific filter tune on here for the other frame, which is obviously not working with this one. So I'm gonna take this off, flip it into black box, and then I'm in black box. Yeah, we're getting some logs. Don't hit the ceiling, you jerk. Getting it out of black box. Okay, cool. So that's great. Let's see how fast we can do this. Let's see how fast we can get it into Betaflight, get it into Black Box Explorer, look at the log, change the filters. Ready? How fast can black box tuning be done? Betaflight, connect. Black box, we got our log. Activate mass storage device. There it is. BetaFLT. Let's fuck it. I'll just open them all. There's going to be a bunch that are 0 bytes, 0 bytes. It's usually the last one that's the one that you want. What? $772,000 bytes. This is the one. 6. Yeah, it's the last one. Drag it to the desktop. Get info. Unlock it. Get Black Box Explorer going. Eject it. Unplug it. Replug it. Pull it back up in Betaflight. Black box. Erase flash. I want to drag it. Let's rename it. Air75 V2 frame dirty. Oh, fucker. Air75 V2 frame dirty NBD tune. Newbie drone tune. Cool. Close this. There's my file. Drag it in. Make sure there's something there. And there is indeed. And it is all over the goddamn place. Perfect. View hide analyzer display. Blow it up. Workspace. Noise plots. Gyro scaled roll. Is roll where the problem is? Well, I do need to get this into Betaflight to take off the notch filters that I had in there from before. But just for the sake of looking, there's pitch. There's roll. Okay, so pitch is obviously the problem as it was before. And it looks like max motor noise is 128. Is that here? No, that's one. Okay, so 128 is the bottom spike. So I'm going to put the bottom of this notch filter at 116. Call it 115. And I need it to swing up to 155. Call it 160. So I need to get from 115 to 160. That means I'm going to put the center at, what's that, 140? 115 to 140 is a 25 jump, and then it's going to go up to 165. I don't need it. Yeah. 115 cut off, 140 center. 115 cut off, 140 center. Let's try that. Ready? I don't even need to erase it. We're going to come into filter settings. We're going to do a D-term notch filter. The center is going to be 140. The cutoff is going to be 115. And I'm going to turn off this other gyro notch filter. One gyro RPM filter, one dynamic notch, 500 Q factor. Save. D-term. Move this D-term up a little bit. Let's do that. Let's move that D-term filter up just a little bit because we're doing so much work with the notch filter. Okay. I bet you that fixed it. Same battery. So we actually took a lot of filtering out because we had those double notch filters for that other frame. Let's see how this is. Here we go. Oh, better. Magic. Nice and quiet at 0 throttle. Whew, so much power. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. It's so hard to fly these big heavy fuckers in here. Ay. Look at that utter magic. Let's put the other battery on. We'll get a quick log. And we'll look at the difference. Ah, no we won't. Let's do the other build. It's good to go. No, let's do it. We can do it quick. That was really fast, yo. Getting that into black box, pulling that out. That was very, very quick. Oh, okay. So it's not all better. Oh, I was flying that in Horizon. All right, so on a fresh battery, it's still a little upset. So we're now logging. Yeah, it's upset. Ooh, almost hit the ceiling. Both of these frames are a lot more wobbly than the Mobula 7 V4. Mobula 7 V4, I still think is really the way to go on these 75mm rigs, other than the fact that they're slow with that. Okay. So that was a really good log, and we've got that D-term notch filter in there, so we should be able to nail this down right now. And that was a great big log. A great big shit log, that is. Connect. Black box. Activate mass storage. Wait for it to pop up. There it is. It's going to be this 8. I'm just going to assume that it's that one. 8. Let it copy. 3.8 megabytes. Perfect. That's totally that log. All right, good to go. Done copying. Unplug it. Replug it. Connect. Black box. Erase. Yes. Right click. Get info. Unlock it. Close it. Come on, let me rename you. Air75 Dirty 2. Let's just say. And okay, that's there. Where did Black Box Exploder go? Why did it close? That's weird. I guess I closed it. Drag this in. Loading file. Analyzer display. Blow it up. Workspace noise plots. Roll. Gyro scales roll. Raw gyro data on roll. Ooh, roll's a little noisy. Look at that. That's a little bit north of our filter that we dropped in there. So that's up at like 180 down to 150. Interesting. Let's take a look at pitch. Pitch is probably going to be way worse. Whoa. Okay. Something ain't right on pitch. So that is before the filtering. This is after the filtering. Before and after. So we've still got some serious issues here. Wow, the notch filter is right here. The notch filter is right on top of this. But it's not taking it down enough. So that makes me think that it's a physical vibration. So let's plug this battery in real quick. and spin these motors up. And while I'm holding the quad, and we'll see if one of these things is vibrating harder. Like, do I have a bent prop or a bent motor shaft? 1 feels okay. 2 feels okay. 3 feels okay. Well, what the hell? Let's run all 4. That feels fine. What? What's happening with you, you little bastard? Okay. Well. What? What's happening here, little fella? The camera is solid. The antenna seems okay. Weird. All right, let's see what's happening. The battery fits in here tight, right? Yeah, the battery fits in there tight, so that shouldn't be it. Are any of these, or is there a screw loose somewhere? No, seems okay. Frame is not broken. We had to have that one notch filter on here before, but then it was okay. It was totally fine after that. I mean, this camera wire is kind of going up and over, but I wouldn't think it's that. No, I can't imagine that it's this camera wire. I will tuck this in a little bit better though. Let's just in case. Let's get this camera wire tucked in back here. You know, this build has been kind of doing this where it's totally fine and then all of a sudden it'll oscillate like crazy and then it'll be totally fine again and then all of a sudden it'll oscillate like crazy. Which might point to the gyro being on its way out, maybe? It's really hard to tell. Okay, so the camera wire is in a much better place now. Everything is so floppy on this build, like it's so difficult to tell. What I would really need to do at this point is change the props. Changing the props is going to be the first big troubleshoot here. But instead, no. Hold on. Let's put it back up in the air now that I moved that wire and see if it's magically better. One change at a time. One change at a time. That battery's dead. This is the new BetaFPV AIO. The 3-post mount AIO. Oh man, this battery doesn't have much more life in it, but yeah, there he goes. Okay, so that didn't help. Jesus Christ. Okay. So now that I have a clone popper, does this battery not fit right in here? It fits fine. That's weird, bro. There we go. We can do this quick. These props have been on here for a while. And so, do we have a pair of fresh props? Right, left, right. I do. All right, let's see how quick we can do this. Let's hit these with the 1.47 millimeter drill bit. And we're going to go, come on, once, twice. Turn this off. Turn these off. This is going to take a minute. All right. Red HLG says humans can't sense vibration much above 50 hertz. I mean, those vibrations were pretty low though, but they were certainly above 50 hertz. Usually, like if you've got a banged up motor or a prop, it's like very, very obvious. But that's interesting. I didn't know that. Couldn't be the motor connection. No, there's nothing about the motor connection that would cause this problem. This is a physical vibration. There is something physically shaking in this quad. Down at low frequencies, which is why I don't think this is going to help. But fresh propellers are always the first troubleshoot. Even if they look fine, they can so easily be bent up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Once more. Each time you do this, you can feel the prop loosening up. And with this drill bit, once it loosens up a little bit, that's going to be the right inner diameter to where it holds onto the motor properly, but doesn't ruin the motor. Put these on the charger. All right. Man, these are way too tight right out of the bag. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it's no wonder these HQ ultralights blow up so often. The inner diameter here is just way too tight. And so when you mash it onto the motor shaft is like pushing out so hard on the hub of the propeller that, yeah, it's absolutely going to shatter. Jesus. That one is maybe still a little tight, but I gotta go here. Gotta go. I'm not gonna get that 1.2 inch rig done. Come on. Come on. This one's a lot better than the one I was just doing. That green one a second ago was really fighting me. Ah, shit. This isn't a fresh prop. Damn it. It's all banged up. Fuck, it's all I have. 3 out of 4 fresh props are going on here. This is what, high left? This high left on on motor 1 looks more fresh than this propeller. So I'm just going to swap 3 of these propellers out. Jesus, yeah, I gotta keep taking more material out of this one though. This one is a mess. My God. There we go. Jesus. Okay. Clone popper to the rescue. Here we go. So we're going to pull this one. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let's just... Nope. I think I might have put these props on in a hurry. Jesus. Yeah, I did. Fuck. I really hate to twist the propeller when I'm removing it, but sometimes you just have to. All right, so that's better. That's how they should fit. Oh my God, I'm striking out with the clone popper today. Let's try the Propodial instead. Propodial, possibly to the rescue. The Propodial works so good on these bi-blade propellers. Like, it's just perfection. Yeah, man, that's funny. On bi-blades, the Propodial works better than the clone popper. That's ridiculous because the Propodial is free. But on tri-blades, the clone popper is the way to go. That, yeah. Propodial. Oh, I might have removed a little bit too much off that one. That prop might fly off. Ooh, that one might fly off too. Okay. All right, let's see. So hopefully the one remaining propeller that I didn't swap out is not the issue. But let's see. Oh, shit. Hold on. If this doesn't fix it, I'll have to dive back into this after vacation. This is about all I can do. Come on! There we go. Propellers, bros! Always blame the propellers. Nope. There it goes again. You hear it? Wow, man. What a pain in the ass. Man. Tuning this 3-mount BetaFPV AIO has been pretty challenging. I'm starting to really wonder. We did that live stream about it, and it was all right on that stream. In fairness, it could be that one propeller that I didn't change out. It absolutely could be that. But yeah, this has been tough. Very tough. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to mess with it more when I get back. That's disappointing. I wasn't going to bring it with me or anything, but I was hoping for I was hoping to not have to continue to fuck with it. So it's just as bad as it was on the Newbie Drone Cockroach 75 LiteAF frame. Weird, man. Really, that's super annoying. Super annoying. But I'll get to the bottom of it. We'll keep going. Red says I'm suspicious of the 3-screw AIO mount. That would allow the AIO to vibrate oddly. Yeah, I mean, if that was the issue, we would see it on the pitch axis more than the roll axis. And we do. We do see that the pitch axis is doing way worse than the roll axis. But, you know, if the AIO was vibrating, the AIO would have one resonant frequency, and we would be able to drop that notch filter on it. This is what we did in that previous live stream where we were dealing with this. And that's exactly what happened. We had a big spike on the pitch axis. I dropped a notch filter on it, just like I did a minute ago. And that was that. Apparently we need to do a little bit more here. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We will figure this out for sure. Could be electrical noise too, but I doubt it. Because it kind of comes and goes. Electrical noise would be there all the time. The fact that it comes and goes, and I can almost feel it, like right above hover, it'll like, yeah. And then if I go a little bit extra on the throttle or a little bit less, it goes away. And so I think it's, yeah, I think it's a mechanical thing. We'll figure it out. We will get to the bottom of it for sure, just not tonight. I gotta roll, friends. I'm gonna end this a couple minutes early so that I can pack and get some sleep. Thanks for hanging. CiottiFPV.com to support me. I'll be back Monday. No stream Friday, no stream Sunday. Monday night I'll be back and we'll hang. And I'll have lots of flight footage for you from Florida. Cool. Be good, friends. Enjoy your weekend. I'm up out of here. Here's some more RC drift car chasing for you from a couple weeks ago. Come on now. Come on now. There it goes. Why is nothing working? There we go. See you guys Monday. Be good, friends.
Yeah. Out in the yard where the grass grows wild, CiottiFPV's goggles locked, grinning like a child. Teddy spaghetti's, fur flies, and jet wash dreams. Yeah. Chasing small whoops like a dog possessed fiend. Eyes on a neon blur, hard in the chase. Big fuzz and prop spin, all tangled in place. Yeah. Four-legged rebel with a rotor stir tail in the circus of the sky. They never fail. CiottiFPV, Teddy spaghetti, dynamic duo kings, barking at the breeze, throttling at top speed. They zooming through hoops, flipping in style. That schnauzer's got throttle and a toothy smile. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sighties on sticks, Teddy's on paws. Side by side legends breaking all the laws. Through the kitchen over couch scale terrain. Backyard mayhem in their flight domain. No ground too sacred, no loop too tight. Fuzz fuel fury ignites the night. When pilot and pup lock eyes on the prize, every whoop they conquer is a fresh cut surprise. Yeah. Yo, Sighty behind the sticks, Teddy's leading the pack. Prop guard missiles unleashed, never looking back. No leash, no map, just freestyle Mike. They on the dog drone streets every day and night. Said whoops, hitting low, gotta nail the dive. Teddy push throttle up, feel the beast come alive. I see the neon arc, got the sticks locked in. Teddy, yeah. Let's rip this loop, ride the roar of the wind. Teddy, yep. Yeah, CiottiFPV, yeah. Teddy spaghetti, yeah. Diamond at duo kings, barking at the breeze, throttling at top speed, zooming through hoops, flipping in style. That schnauzer's got throttle and a toothy smile. Teddy spaghetti. Barking at the breeze, throttling at top speed, zooming through hoops, flipping in style. That schnauzer's got throttle and a toothy smile. Yeah, when you hear that bar cut the rotor hum, you know Ciotti and Teddy's mission's just begun. FPVs, fur-faced legends, legends singing loud. Yeah, Teddy spaghetti and CiottiFPV always proud. Yeah.
ELRS antenna was touching the gyro.